Hey everybody, welcome to, as Unremarked calls it, the only safe haven left from Elden Ring. It's me, Quinn, and we're back. I don't really have much of an introduction this time, so let's just dive right back in. With the next investigation of the exploding machine. Alright, she's back. Oh, this room, it's been too long! It hasn't changed in the slightest, though. And it's been some 6 months, hasn't it? It's a long time for things to stay so familiar. I didn't know when you might return, and I wanted everything to be as you left it. I didn't even go into your room. But it has been some 6 months, it's true. So is your father alright, Susie? What happened? My father? Oh, yes, Professor Mikitoba. I mean, it was half a year ago, but that's why you went back to Japan. Because of the telegram you received saying he'd fallen ill with a very high fever for some unknown reason. That's right! So I was surprised to learn you'd be coming back so soon. Surprised, but happy! I think I wrote about it in my letter to you. That was all a trick. My father is in fine health, and I'm obviously very relieved about that. Well, we're all delighted to have you back. It was quite by accident that I've been able to return to Europe, actually. It's because of a very grand conference called the International Forensic Science Symposium. The International Forensic... That's the same symposium Lord Strongheart mentioned. Anyway, I arrived safe and sound, and all that matters is that I'm here now. After all, I haven't yet fulfilled my promise to you, Iris. Oh! You must tell us everything that happened while you were back in Japan. Well, I dressed up like a boy. Yes, of course, I shall. And there's one other thing. Something you wrote in your letter that particularly grabbed my attention. About you-know-who. About Kazuma. I know. I'll tell you all that I can. Was this shovel always here? I don't remember the shovel. Apparently it has. I'm already confused. Huh. Drop your comments in the chat. Are spades for digging or for picking up loose material? Or is a spade synonymous with a shovel? Oh boy, there's gonna be a long conversation here. When I first arrived back in Japan, I really thought I'd never be allowed to return to Britain. But curiously, after that awful trial at the Supreme Court, Father's mood changed entirely. The awful trial? Oh yes, for the murder of Giselle Brett. Oh, you dressed like a man then, didn't you, Susie? Oh, well, yes. Since women are forbidden in the courtroom, I had no choice. Wow, amazing! I wish I'd seen it. Don't you, Runo? Yes, I suppose so. I want to play at being a lawyer now. I could wear a false mustache, maybe. I don't think any mustache would hide the fact that you're just 10 years old, Iris. There's something else I've been wanting to ask you, Miss Susato. It's about the real reason why Professor Mikitoba summoned you back to Japan. You said in your letter that it was something to do with that convict's loot we found in Mr. Natsume's lodgings. That's right. The very large dog collar we found with the bee emblem on it. I just realized it might have been for something very kinky. It seems Mr. Natsume included a drawing of the collar in the report he submitted back about his time in Britain. I understand that when Father saw the report, he turned as white as a sheet. Why would that be, then? Father came to Britain himself, of course, to study. It was some time ago now, but he stayed for 6 years. I can only imagine that something must have happened during that time. But he refuses to tell me what it was. But if he refuses to tell me what it was, then I intend to find the answers myself. And I've decided that I, for one, won't keep any more secrets. Oh, Susie! That's a very meaningful look Susato-san's giving Iris there. Lord Strongheart mentioned something about that symposium, too. I think he said that that investigative authorities from 40 different countries would attend. Yes, and from Japan, my father and Judge Jikoku... Oh, whoa, the martial arts judge! Jigoku have been invited. It's something of an honor, I believe. Well, Professor Mikotoba is the leading expert in forensic medicine in our country, after all. But who's the other person you mentioned? A judge, did you say? Yes, His Excellency, Judge Shishiro... Fuck. I got this one. Shishiro. Judge Shishiro Jigoku. You've met him, Mr. Naruhodo. Last year, in the Supreme Court. You can't possibly have forgotten. There's me. That terrible trial of yours when you were accused of murder. Ah, yes, I try to think of that as a positive turning point in my life these days. Well, he's that guy. Well, it was Judge Jikoku that presided over your trial. If I'm perfectly honest, I'm happy to never see that man's face again in my life. Oh, well, anyway, as Father was invited to the symposium, he agreed to me returning to Britain, too. He won't actually arrive until next month, but, well, I couldn't wait. So I pleaded with him, and in the end he agreed to me to go on ahead. Yeah, about the symposium. It seems as though Lord Strongheart has put in an awful lot of work to make it happen. It's obviously very important. I believe it is, yes. As I understand it, Lord Strongheart organized the entire event himself. I think he's hoping that by achieving exceptional results, he'll get the job of Attorney General. The most senior position in the British justice system. He's hoping to use his power to create the world's finest policing institution. Oh boy. That's what Father said anyway. Apparently it's Lord Strongheart's lifelong ambition. Does Professor Mikotoba know Lord Strongheart personally then? I wonder... Actually, Lord Strongheart gave me a long speech all about this very subject only yesterday. But I sort of lost the will to live early on. I didn't really listen to much of it. How trying for you. So about that bitch who died... Giselle Brett. The woman whose unforgivable actions ended in me being wrongly accused of a crime I didn't commit. The murder of Dr. John H. Wilson. Yes, Giselle Brett. That's a name I won't forget for as long as I live. The extraordinary thing is, though, it seems it's a name we should all forget. Sorry? Since the incident, our government's intelligence service has been investigating Miss Brett. But it turns out that an Englishwoman by the name of Giselle Brett didn't actually exist. But that's her theme music! Susato, don't you hear it? It's playing right now! She must have existed! People who don't exist don't get theme music! Didn't exist? But how can that be? It was a pseudonym. Her real name was Shin, and she wasn't a visiting student either. That was a front. A front? Who on earth was she then? Miss A. Shin. Her name is literally all our intelligence service has been able to ascertain about her. Of course it had to be a pun. Nobody knows why or even how she came to be in Japan. It's a complete mystery. But that makes no sense. It's no easy task to be accepted as a foreign student anywhere. What could the woman have been up to? I'm afraid I don't really know. The only thing we can be sure of is that she had some business in our country that we don't yet understand. And now she's been killed. All the questions surrounding our existence remain unanswered. I'm afraid so. A. Shin. Who on earth was she? Why do I feel as though I've heard that name before somewhere? After my friend Ray's trial, the reporter who actually killed Miss Brett said something very strange. Many memo! Many memo! I know the truth! I know you had a hand in what went on! That visiting student's fate! Nobody here in Japan knows anything about it. They don't know that the guy never made it to England, that he died on that steamship, and that he'll never... Shikoku Slam! Obviously, I couldn't ask him to elaborate at the time. But later, I visited the man in his prison cell and asked him what he was going to say about Kazuma-sama. But I found he'd hung himself. And what'd you learn? After he died on the voyage to Great Britain, his body should have been unladen at the port of Hong Kong and passed to the care of the consulate staff there. Should have been? Well, it turns out that his body never arrived. Oh, we got a zombie! It just disappeared. What? Kazuma's body vanished? Our government tried to cover the fact up, it seems. They erected a grave on the cliffs by our hometown. Except, Kazuma-sama isn't there. Did Professor Mikitoba know about this? Yes, it would seem that he did. But he didn't tell me. They're still investigating what happened to Kazuma-sama's body as we speak. I just don't believe it. And what is this acute feeling of apprehension I have all of a sudden? The Kazuma mystery. Thinking back now, some of the things that happened on the SS Beria were definitely strange. I mean, after he died, we never saw his body again, did we? Could it be that he's actually still alive? Stop it, Mr. Naruhodo. It's too much to bear. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Just thinking about the possibility pains me so very much. Cast your mind back for a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. When Kazuma-sama was discovered, Mr. Sholmes was there, wasn't he? If you're about to say that means he must have been dead, for the great detective could not have gotten that wrong, I have bad news for you. And he definitely examined the body. I remember it clearly. Ah, you're right. So if Kazuma hadn't actually been dead at all, it would mean that Mr. Sholmes had lied to us. But there's no reason why he possibly could have done such a thing. I suppose that's true, yes. The idea that he might still be alive somewhere. It wants to fill me with hope, but I can't let it, because if it turned out not to be true... then I'd be back at the bottom of that awful pit of despair again. I'm terrified of what that might do to me. Oh, Miss Susato. I know she's given the idea the thought it deserves. It's Susato-san we're talking about after all. So I probably shouldn't push it now. I'll push it later. Push it real good. Are we done here? I can't move yet. Oh, hello. What do you want? It must be about a year ago now. I wrote a really long story based on some of my father's old notes. It's about one of Early's greatest exploits. I called it The Hound of the Baskervilles. But then Mr. Sholmes forbade you from publishing it. And put the manuscript somewhere nobody could get their hands on it. Until they did. So nobody knows anything about it apart from Early and I. But for some reason, you knew the title of it, didn't you, Susie? Yes, flashing back to that time where she definitely knew the title. Oh, a frickin' mango. Thank you for the 14-month resub. Happy Susato's back. Her and her lies. And you wouldn't tell me how you come to know it. Yes, but I made you a promise that I would explain one day, didn't I? Well, that day is not today! Knowing this game, it's 2 more cases down the road. That's right, prove me wrong, Susato. You've fallen right into my trap. I think it's time. Oh! I'm only sorry I kept it from you for so long, Iris. It was completely by accident that I came to know the title of your manuscript, Iris. It was a short while before we left Japan. I was cleaning Father's study and I saw something on his writing desk. A large box of papers. There was a label affixed to the box that was written in English. It read, The Hound of the Baskervilles. What? My Baskerville story? Of course, I had no idea what it was at the time. But Father came in and... Susato, what are you doing? Get away from Daddy's drugs! Oh, Father! Did you look at those papers? No, I simply read the label, that's all. Well, put it out of your mind. Sorry? Forget that you ever saw it, and certainly don't tell anybody else about this. Do you understand? She didn't, because she did. But what was Iris's manuscript doing in Japan? I have no idea. But when I heard Iris mention the word Baskerville that day, the title just slipped out. I would never have guessed that it was an unpublished account of one of Mr. Sholmes' exploits. When I returned to Japan, I asked Father to explain, but he refused to answer any of my questions, and there was no sign of the big box in his office. That's really all I know about it. I have no doubts that Father was has a very good reason for being so secretive about it, but still. I made up my mind to explain myself to both of you. Well, thank you for being so honest, Susie! So, Mr. Naruhodo, I'm ready to start investigating if you are. I've committed every detail about the case to memory. And Iris has told me about the disturbing happenings at the Waxwork Museum as well. So you're fully abreast of the situation already, Miss Susato. I expected nothing less, to be honest. I would think our first port of call should be to investigate this Mr. Drever, the engineer responsible for building the elaborate machine that was used to effect this extraordinary trick. Yes, a conjurer of sorts by the sound of it. Well known in the fields of science and magic. Then we need to go and arrest him! Well, yes. He must know the truth about behind the case, so I agree we really do need to find the man.
It sounds like it's a case of tracking someone down! Which is a job for the police, or a great detective!
Are we supposed to guess who she might be thinking of? We don't have much time, so we need to get started right straight away, I think.
Good idea! Well, best of luck then!
Oh, you're not coming today?
I'm going to Brexton Road shortly for the herb market. I've got some sweet opium I want to get for early. But let me know later how you got on, won't you? Won't you, don't you?
That was a little abrupt. The pull of the herb market must be strong. Well, we can't go to the... Is he at the Wax Museum?
Oh my! No wonder it's called the House of Horrors. I'd like to turn on my heels and go straight home via the confectionery.
Being scared makes you crave sweets? I can understand that. I was looking forward to a reunion after 6 months away, but... there's no sign of Mr. Sholmes anywhere. That's strange. He should be here investigating the abduction of the Waxwork. Oh well. I suppose we'll just have to come back again later. So it begins, where I don't know where the hell I'm supposed to go. Alright, starting from the top. Okay, yeah, so she has that reaction about all of this. So it's either...
Susato-san, what are you doing here?
Wow. Who gave him chalk? What's he doing? He's... Oh my! The whole wall of the cell is covered in mathematical equations. And he's still writing more now. Professor! Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo! And who's this young lady?
My name is Susato Mikatoba. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor.
Femalian! Oh, if only I'd met a refined young woman like you sooner!
This would have happened.
No, that's not logical. That makes no sense at all.
Oh dear, I'm sorry if my presence here upsets you. I owe an apology too, Professor. I didn't manage to deliver what I promised you I would in court this morning.
Oh no! The whole thing, this whole miserable affair, it all happened because I had been such a complete and utter clot!
Professor Hairbrain, what have you been working on your cell?
Oh, hey, you mean that? Oh dear, how embarrassing. I was just suddenly struck by an idea, you see, and I simply had to write it down. The wall was all I had on hand.
Oh, is it some new hypothesis? Something to surpass super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, maybe?
No, actually, this is my autobiography.
Your autobiography?
How I was diddled in fiddle.
And just screen cap that for the thumbnail.
How I was diddled and fiddled by Albert Hairbrain! I found I could represent my odd fortunes with only odd numbers and an ambitious set of simultaneous equations. Really? I'm going to have to pay back all the loans I took for the kinesis machine, you see? So it's going to be a new serial publication from next month. Part 1, An Odd Birth and Odd Upbringing. You can't beat the man's optimism, that's for sure. The formula's plot is downward spiral. I like that, coding wizard. I see. Well, for now, would you mind if we talked a little more about the case? Oh yes, of course! I've been working through the numbers. I was diddled! I was fiddled by the pair of them! Oh wow, you're just setting all these screenshots up. This is gonna be a great thumbnail. By Asmund! By that aloof engineer Trevor! We're not going to have to sit through an explanation of all these equations, are we? Everything I believed in has been turned on its head. My research, Mr. Admin, the kinesis machine, my hypothesis even. I'm sorry it's come to this. There really was no other way. No, it's not your fault. I wanted to protect my work, but in the end, there's nothing worth protecting. It was never my intention to deceive anyone. I didn't want to trick the public. No, of course you didn't. But in court this morning, I realized something. Oh? If you've done something wrong without knowing it, you've still done something wrong. Well, actually, it makes no difference if you're aware of it or not. Guilty mind, guilty act. Ignorance is a poor excuse. The blame still lies with me. Do we want to have a segue to intention when it comes to criminal acts? It's a bit off of my skill set, but Hairbrain is just wrong here. When it comes to criminal actions, especially for something as egregious as murder, there are degrees, like some of you may have heard, degrees of murder a person can be charged with depending on their intention. Your average one is, of course, acting with either the intent to kill or acting with knowledge that what you're doing is going to cause someone to die. That's your kind of second-degree murder, your average murder charge. And you have, of course, premeditated, which is not only did you intend for the person to die, you specifically planned for it. That's your cold-blooded murder and kind of the worst offense when it comes to murder. Then you could have recklessness on the other side of the spectrum, where you're doing something crazy, you don't exactly know that it will cause someone to die, but it's dangerous enough that you could still be found culpable of killing someone if they die as a result. That's where you get your manslaughter charge. You also have there's a little bit of a caveat in some jurisdictions where you have quote-unquote hot-blooded murder, where the best example, of course, is you walk in on your spouse cheating on you and then you whip out a gun and kill somebody, kill one of them. That's still murder, but there's kind of a little bit of a gimme there where it's like everyone feels like, well, it's not appropriate. We can understand you didn't have your faculties all about you at that moment. So that's where you kind of get that's where you get that third degree murder, that lesser murder charge. And then at the furthest end of the spectrum of causing death without really intending it, you have criminally negligent homicide, which is something, I mean, obviously this case is going to go all kinds of fucky, I can just see it coming, but Hairbrain's probably the closest to this, where you had a duty to the people you were serving, but in failing for breaching that duty, causing their death, you're found guilty of homicide. So you have premeditated murder on one extreme, criminally negligent homicide on the other, and depending on just how much you intended the person to die via your actions, you kind of run the whole gamut of murder. So that's where you have the actus reus and the mens rea, the guilty act, guilty mind. You have to have both to have crime.
Unless, of course, the crime is... I mean, even in criminally negligent, there's an intent. You intend to carry something out that is negligent. So I can't exactly... I'd go ahead and say, generally speaking, you need both the intention to do something or not to do something, and then for that to have caused the death. To Shalinks, Licks, thank you for the subscription. Sorry if I mispronounced your username. My tongue's all over the place with all these weird voices. Oh, Professor.
He believed in me this morning, you know. Barrick did. He believed in my hypothesis.
Well, I think that was just a necessary factor in the prosecution establishing its case.
No, Barrick wouldn't do something like that. I'm sure he genuinely believed it.
Did he? Oh, and Samosua, the 59th. Thank you for the Prime sub.
I think I understand now. Why it was that he decided to take on the prosecution in my trial, I mean.
Well, I guess we're moving on to this.
After the terrible accident happened, nobody would believe my hypothesis anymore. Not the police, not the prosecution service, not any lawyers even.
I feel like I dealt some kind of finishing blow there.
So if any other prosecutor had taken the case, if anyone other than Barrick, I'm sure the prosecution would have declared my hypothesis a complete and utter nonsense.
And in that case, you would have been declared a fraud yourself, Professor.
Exactly, which would have been a fate worse than death for me. But Barrick insisted that I was a proper man of science from start to finish.
You think that's why he...
I know him very well indeed. He's an extremely kind-hearted soul.
But that extremely kind-hearted soul spent all morning trying to paint you as a murderer, didn't he?
Well, admittedly, that part of the analysis appears to have some flaws in it.
And what about the whole Reaper side of things? How does that fit in with the kind-hearted soul idea?
Do you think he, being Mr. Asman, set out to trick me from the very start?
I'm sorry to say, that does seem likely, yes.
When I first met him, he introduced himself as a wealthy financier. He looked over the paper I'd written and said my work would benefit all humanity and must be pursued. He was so enthused. He was so emphatic.
But in reality, he was the mastermind of some vast criminal network, it seems.
I still can't believe it.
As the machine was essentially a set decoration for some stage magic. It probably didn't require a large amount of investment, actually. But the scale of it wasn't just some small trick. It was a very elaborate feat of deception.
All young scientists are full of hope about their burgeoning ideas, full of zeal. But none of us have any money. We want to do more research, but we can't afford it.
I'm sure you can pull something capitalist out of that. Moving on.
Many of us take on barely legal part-time work to try and earn just a few measly pennies to carry on. To go through all of that, only to be taken for a complete fool. It's too rotten to believe.
It is, I agree. And that's why we have to find those responsible and bring them to justice. Mr. Asman is no more, of course, which leads to only the engineer. Mr. Enoch Trevor. Is he an engineer, or a magician, or a swindler? Bad grammar.
It was about a year ago when Mr. Asman first brought Trevor to meet me at my laboratory. Since then, I met him many times to discuss details about the kinesis machine.
but at no point did you have any inkling that he was just an illusionist?
Oh, he definitely wasn't just an illusionist.
What do you mean?
He was a wealth of deep scientific knowledge. There's no question that the man's a genuine scientist. It's instantly apparent in conversation.
I see. But the wretched man deceived you, Professor. It's unforgivable. We must do everything we can to find him and bring him to justice. Are there no more clues you can give us to his whereabouts?
I'm sorry, we only ever discussed the kinesis machine, nothing else. Although just once, I did visit his workshop.
What workshop?
Drebber's enormous fabrication laboratory where he constructed my great machine.
Why didn't you mention this before? Enoch Drebber's workshop. There's every chance we might find the man there. So you've been to Drebber's place of work then?
Yes, just once, you understand. It was an enormous place. Plenty of room to construct my kinesis machine, you see.
Where can we find it? We have to go there at once. There's a good chance we'll find Drebber there.
Well, yes, definitely. I'm sure. As I'm sure you're not going to want to hear this. But I have absolutely no idea where the workshop is at all. I'm so sorry!
I was more than half expecting that.
You see, I was blindfolded in the carriage the entire way there.
He blindfolded you? He wasn't taking any chances then.
The place was incredible! The pinnacle of modern engineering! Dinageering! Even the oil he used was the very best, a special French machine oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain.
Well, apparently it's not impossible because he had it. Unless you went all the way to France.
Ah, the indescribable scent of that imported oil. Perfumers across the world should forget their secret formula and use that instead.
What do you think, Mr. Zato? Your Diddish mission for your next birthday? I've never used any kind of perfume, Mr. Naruhodo, and I'm not sure I'd like to start with that. I don't suppose you know even part of the workshop's address, Professor? You don't have a business card from Mr. Drebber, for example? The man was clearly very cautious, Mr. Zato, I'm sure.
Yeah! Yes, I do! He gave me his business card once. It's right here, look!
What? Let me see that! Throw etiquette to the wind, why don't you? Naruhodo-san, this card just says, your mama. Enoch Drebber, engineer. I'm afraid that's all it says. Did you check the back? No. Oh well, I can't say I'm surprised. Still, this could be useful. Alright, hold on. Back it up. Well, I mean, I guess it's not something obvious on the back, but there is something there. The stark smudge here. I think that perhaps it's machine oil. Oh yes, possibly. Professor Hareberry mentioned something about the oil Drebber uses, didn't he? He said it was specially imported, very high-quality oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain. Yes, that's right, but more importantly, it's more fragrant than the finest perfume. So, excuse me a moment. Susato, why are you rubbing that on your neck? Oh, it doesn't appear to have any scent at all. Don't worry, I expect that's just because there's such a tiny amount on here. hello, hello, hello. Someone's getting another girl voice. Oh, who's that standing beside Lord Strongheart? I wonder... I've never seen her before. Ah, the young champion of the court. You had some success this morning, I understand. And you've thrown the entire government into disarray as a result. Oh! You mean because of Professor Harebrain's experiment? Sham science being demonstrated at London's Great Exhibition. The country's been made to look foolish, and now politicians are scrambling to respond. Lord Van Zykes is in Whitehall as we speak, giving an emergency briefing. Oh dear, I, didn't mean to cause any trouble. None of this is your responsibility. The government is entirely to blame for having been taken in. The special dispensation that prevents investigation at the scene will be annulled later today. Once that happens, my my FIT will move in and deal with that scrap metal in no time. It's scrap metal now, is it? Well, until later then, Lord Strongheart! Yes, thank you. She is a doctor, as you can tell by the misuse of the rod of Asclepius. I can't pronounce it. But the one with the rod with the snake wrapped around it representing health. Who was that? That was Dr. Courtney Scythe, Scotland Yard's esteemed chief coroner. She's leading the FIT team's handling of the case. The FIT's handling of the case. She was just delivering her report about the victim, in fact. Oh, I see. About Mr. Asman. He's made entirely out of wax! Following the outcome of the trial earlier, I asked the coroner's office to reevaluate its findings. I don't have time to tell you what she concluded. If you want to know, you'll have to ask her directly. You can find her in the forensics laboratory. Right. Now, what were you here to see me about? I can give you 7 minutes and 39 seconds of my time. So he's not running quite so spectacularly late anymore. Let's talk about the FIT. What exactly is the FIT that you have mentioned before? The British Empire's police force must become the most exemplary in the world. For that to happen, it's imperative that we embrace forensic science and everything it has to offer. I first created the FIT a year ago now, unofficially of course, to pave the way. Goodness, a year ago? At next month's symposium, I intend to present the results of their work to the world. Once I do that, the House of Lords will be powerless to oppose the creation of a full-scale forensics division. And once that happens, the position of Attorney General will be mine, and criminals will suffer dearly. What do you mean? For too long, those scoundrels have made a mockery of our legal system with false evidence and bribes. But London's scum is about to be rounded up and burnt in the fires of hell. Oh, well. Topical. I intend to see to it personally. By creating the finest police force the world has ever known to protect our honor and our future. Look at those eyes. It means every word. Dr. Scythe is an extremely reliable coroner. When I have officially established the forensic division at Scotland Yard, she will run it as my right-hand woman. Now then, speaking of the symposium, Miss Mikatoba. Oh, yes, my lord? Your father should be on the high seas as we speak, making his way here to represent the Empire of Japan. Yes, that's right. I understand he will arrive at the beginning of next month. Are you acquainted, Lord Strongheart? With Professor Mikatoba, I mean. It was many years ago now, but yes, I remember Dr. Mikotoba very well.
Oh. I guess that's what we're talking about now.
If my memory serves, it was some 15 years ago now that your father came to Britain as a visiting student.
That was the year I was born, so yes, 16 years ago, in fact.
Mikotoba was a young practitioner of forensic science, and Shigoku accompanied him as a young, promising judge. The punctuousness and politeness of the Japanese at the time impressed us greatly. Not that I wish to imply impoliteness or carelessness on your part in any way. I didn't think that you were. Dr. Mikotoba studied forensics at one of London's large hospitals. St. Sinners, if I'm not mistaken. Dr. Scythe was also there then, as it happens.
Then Dr. Scythe knows my father, does she?
She was a young medical assistant at the time, so I doubt their paths crossed regularly. But I have no doubt they knew each other superficially. After all, Dr. Mikotoba was here studying his subject for some 6 years in total.
6 years? That's a long time to be studying abroad, isn't it?
I lived with my grandmother in those years.
So he left his newly born daughter behind and went overseas for 6 whole years? It was a rather turbulent time at home.
Oh, I can imagine. You didn't know your father until you were already a child.
Perhaps his father wanted a reason to get away.
What do you mean? Why? Well, clearly something was going on at the time. So anyway, about Lord Van Zykes.
I wanted to ask you about Lord Van Zykes, actually. I heard that his older brother was killed some years ago. By a mass murderer known as the Professor, who targeted nobles and royalty. Is that right?
Wow. I mean, it must have only been a couple of weeks, but I completely forgot about that detail. You Japanese are a thorough lot. You've done your research well. Yes. And you could say it was that very incident that gave rise to the Reaper.
What? Why?
When his brother, Clint Van Zykes, was murdered, it was just after young Barrack had graduated from the University of London and become a prosecutor. When obvious criminals who managed to evade conviction in court started disappearing, rumors quickly spread throughout the capital. Londoners started to say that wherever Barrack Van Zykes went, the ghost of his dead brother wasn't far behind.
Oh my word! So Lord Van Zykes is the Reaper.
It's the ghost of his brother? Ever since that time, he became a very aloof figure in London's legal circles.
Oh yes, Lord Strongheart.
Go ahead.
It's about Professor Harebrain's experimental machine. We'd like your permission to examine the remains, if possible.
Are you well versed in science, then?
Not in the slightest. In fact, you could say I was barely aware of the subject until recently.
Well, the special dispensation legally preventing investigation of the machine is currently being annulled. Within a few hours, Dr. Scythe's team of forensic experts will begin their own investigation. I suppose until then, there's no harm in you looking at the wreckage, as long as you touch nothing.
Thank you. Being able to look at it is better than nothing. And given what happened last time, I'll just take whatever I want. No one can stop me. And I'll be able to see it too.
Your time is up. You'll have to excuse me now, I'm afraid. My next engagement calls.
We are extremely sorry to have troubled you when you are so busy, my lord.
I have important matters to attend to in preparation for the symposium. You understand. Okay, well this place is creepy without him, so let's go. I guess we're going to the forensics lab. I believe this is it. Dr. Sai's laboratory. That owl immediately comes to mind. She into taxidermy too? That chemical smell really assaults the nose. And there's plenty to assault the eyes in here too. It looks as though the doctor isn't here. But we're here now, so we may as well do some sightseeing, don't you think? What a seasoned tourist you've become, Miss Susato. We could just have a little look around, being careful not to upset any restless souls. I don't see any pictures in here. Oh, yeah, so on this owl. That looks like an owl and a crow up there. I know, and they haven't been even twitched since we came in here. Well, no, they wouldn't have. They're taxidermy mounts, Mr. Naruhodo. I was afraid you were going to say that. I've been trying very hard to tell myself they're just sleeping with their eyes open. Yes, I think perhaps you were wise to put something like your I think you were wise to put something like your Daruma doll on display in the office instead. Man, there is no music playing. What great fun. Well, look at this! What a magnificent display case! The cherry wood has been polished to a high sheen, and the intricate carving is a joy to behold. Western cabinet makers really are very skilled, aren't they? Do you have nothing to say about the skeleton inside, Mr. Naruhodo? Miss Susato, can't you tell that I'm trying very hard to avoid talking about the terrifying contents of the case? It's how I cope! I'll be sure to remember that from now on. Alright, now we take a look at the book on your desk. Look at this big, thick book here. Conveniently very far away from the cherry wood cabinet. Ah, it appears to be an accounting ledger. It's a record of the spending, I think. Oh? What is it? It's clear that the team purchases various equipment and supplies on a monthly basis, but... Well, one entry seems rather strange. Oh, really? In what way? They're buying 500 scalpels every month. 500? They must be working really hard on dissecting corpses. I don't know. Judicial autopsies are only carried out in certain special circumstances. And scalpel blades can be sharpened, too. It does seem a bit strange, you're right. 500 scalpels a month? What could they possibly be using all of them for? What are you doing? Ah! Sorry, we had something we wanted to ask you, but you weren't here, so... So you thought you'd see him around? That's acceptable to you people from the East, is it? Oh, great, another racist. Well, what do you want? Lord Strongheart told us, you see, that it was you who examined the victim's body. Mr. Aspen's body, I mean. So we came to ask you about your findings. On Lord Strongheart's advice. Very well! If the Lord Chief Justice has given his consent, I will tell what our investigation revealed. But when we're done, you must leave immediately. This is a good theme. Sorry to ruin it with this voice, but I don't know. I feel like otherwise it'd just be so prim and prissy. It would sound like another Eggert.
So, you want to know what the fit determined from its advanced examination of the scene? The victim, Mr. Odie Asmund, who disappeared from the experimentation stage amid an explosion, and Mr. Asmund, who appeared moments later partway up the Crystal Tower, were without question one and the same person. That is the team's conclusion.
But that can't be right.
If it was an elaborate trick, we can only speculate about how it was carried out.
Let's see. If two people who looked very similar to each other were involved, they could have made it appear as if one single person had switched places, couldn't they?
Very true, but sadly in this instance, that was not the case. The man who disappeared and the man who subsequently reappeared was the same person. The fingerprints at the scene make that quite evident.
Fingerprints?
They're not yet officially recognized as forensic evidence in the British justice system, but one day they will be used as an investigative aid as to a matter of course.
You're looking at the script side. Stop it. Oh my, but that would mean that the instantaneous kinesis actually took place. So where does that leave us?
Up the creek now, fuck off! My team was tasked with investigating, not drawing conclusions.
Instantaneous kinesis is impossible, and yet the body did move from one place to the other. This hasn't clued anything up at all. It's made the whole thing even more a mystery. Oh, you let your hair down. Oh wait, no, it's your kid.
What's this?
Where did she spring from? And did she just call the doctor Mama?
This is the lawyer, dear. Ooh.
Hello. To meet you. Pleased to meet you. Yes, I'm a defense lawyer. Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Mama? Yes? Can I cut this one up?
What?
I've never seen the inside of an Eastern person before. I want to know what it looks like. Of course you can't. It's a live specimen, as you can very well see. Boring.
I think I just had a near-death experience. Oh dear, Mr. Naruhodo, you're as pale as a corpse. Then let's leave before I'm mistaken for one. We then stand here. Hold on, what happens if I try to examine something? Let's go with this. Those large jars seem to have pale things floating around inside them. I suppose they're fruit liquors or something. Or like pickled unabushi plums, and that we make back home. Father had jars like that in his laboratory as well. I expect they're human organs and preserving solution, probably as examples of some rare medical condition. Miss Susato, those are some things in the world that it's perfectly fine to never know about, ever. There are some things in the world that it's perfectly fine to never know about. Oh! So as I said, I'm sure they're fruit liquors or unaboshi, aren't they? Of course. Okay, well if we're just gonna have that joke over and over again, I'm leaving. Those two cops are still there, even though it's been a day later. Ah, great. Gina's here. I had no idea there were so many people in the world. I know what you mean. It's really packed here today. It feels as though it's taken us 2 hours just to make our way through the crowds to this point. Has it? I shut my brain down, so I didn't really notice, to be honest. Gosh, I do wish I had your absence of mind sometimes, Mr. Naruhodo. There you are! I had a feeling you lot would show your mugs before long! No, it's the wrong guy. Oh, Inspector Gregson. I see you're hard at work as usual.
Warm greetings to you. I hope you've been keeping well since last we met.
What's with all the ceremony? We just saw each other in court this morning.
Not you, Sunshine, the gentlewoman so loyally at your side.
Oh! Why, thank you, Inspector. How good of you to notice. He might be a bit rough around the edges, but he's still a proper English gentleman at heart, I suppose. As you've probably guessed, we were hoping to investigate the scene some more.
Right, well, that's the young trainee's domain. Oh, get over here, Gina!
She seems to be busy playing with a puppy. She's probably giving a traditional East End training. Gina, she's a police officer now. Amazing, isn't it?
She's a good kid, actually. Heart's in the right place anyway. She's got a detection bug, if you ask me. Yep, I think she'll follow my footsteps nicely.
What do you mean?
I'm being transferred. It's time for me to say toodaloo to London.
Oh no, really? That's a bit sudden, isn't it? I had no idea. Where are you going to be posted then? We'll come to see you. How you're getting along.
Not likely, but you're welcome to try. If you don't mind a trip to France, that is.
To France?
I'll be working in the Paris Police Prefecture.
Perfection. You know what? I'll keep it. That's how he would say it.
Should be right up my alley.
But France, that's an entirely different country. I don't understand. Why would you be sent there?
That's the way the adult world works, Sunshine. Sometimes you don't go poking your nose while it's not wanted. I'm intending to take the kid with me when I go.
What? You're taking Gina to Paris?
Well, I can't leave her here in London. Who knows what would become of her?
I suppose he's worried she slipped back into slipping her pants in people's pockets and purses. I don't think he's worried about her pickpocketing, Mr. Naruto. I think he's worried about the Reaper. Oh, of course. So that's playing on Inspector Gregson's mind too, is it?
Anyway, I didn't mention any of this to Gina, so don't go blabbing, you hear me?
No, of course not.
You gotta keep that diving diva around safe and sound. Until all this is over, at least.
Oh, and you just called me bloomin' diving diva again?
So you heard that, did you? Right, well, any questions about the scene you can put into my capable detective diva here.
Alright, you heard the boss. Inspector Lestrade's in charge here now.
I suppose I better keep my word and not mention anything about Paris. So, Gina, did you hear about the Detective Gregson going to Paris? Taking you with him? Did you? Did you hear that? Did you? Oh, the dog. There. I think I got enough shots of the dog.
Oh, how delightful! He's absolutely adorable.
Yes, the dog does seem lovely, but it's the not-so-lovely Inspector Gregson that's playing on my mind, to be honest. So anyway... great, we have to talk to you. Ooh, is she actually gonna feed me fish and chips before I go? I want to do it again. But I already tried thinking past you. Whatever, fine. Talk to you then. Gina, we were actually hoping that we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you can do what you like. Oh, that's alright, is it?
I'm gonna be playing with my new friend here.
Yeah, Toby. Aw, the dog barks. The machine that exploded must be at the top of those stairs, I presume? I haven't actually seen it yet, so if you don't mind.
Sorry, I can't let you go up there, Suze.
Oh!
It's like I told Otto yesterday, even I ain't allowed to be near that wreck. What's it called again? The reason we ain't supposed to touch it? The Special
Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act? The SUSI? Is that what you're thinking of?
That's the one. That's why only one lot allowed up. That's why only them lot allowed up there and investigate it. What you governor? What are they called again? The forensic something?
The Fit? Is that what you were thinking of?
That's the one, yeah.
But isn't it the case that the special dispensation has been lifted?
I think so. I don't really get it, to be truthful with ya. You're still supposed to get permission from some bigwig or other, is all I know. What was his name again? Lord Strange something?
I'm not sure that's quite right, Gina. I think you mean Lord Strongheart, perhaps.
That's the one, yeah. Apparently he's always watching the time or something.
Actually, we've just recently been to see Lord Strongheart.
Eh? You what? You met him? Last time the boss was challenged to go see him. We waited for 3 hours at the Cove's office and came back sniveling.
Tragic. Well, Lord Strongheart has given us permission to examine the scene as long as we touch nothing.
Oh yeah?
Honestly.
Alright then, go ahead. But if it turns out you're lying, it'll be the boss who gets it. He'll never eat another chip again in his life. So you're still saying this above board, are you?
I'm sure everything will be fine. That really would be tragic.
Alright then, then's the stairs. Off you go. Off you pop.
Oh, thank you, Gina. Alright, how about the dog? Where did you find that little mutt then, Gina?
Oh, don't be so flaming rude, Otto!
Slight overreaction, don't you think?
He ain't no mutt, alright? Toby's, how'd they put it? Oh yeah, a bona fide detective.
That went really southern there, didn't it?
Sorry? I give him the proper title and everything. It's Chief Inspector Toby to you.
More senior than Inspector Gregson, is he?
Oh, he's a police dog, is he?
The police recruit dogs now? I've heard that they're already being used officially in Germany as part of their city policing. They're used for chasing criminals and such like. They have a wonderful sense of smell, after all. I have a very good sense of smell myself, as it seems. As it happens, I can sometimes tell Undergarden 7... Oh, God! Don't share that, Ryunosuke! What are you doing? This ain't Demon Slayer. I can tell undergarments that have been freshly laundered from undergarments that haven't.
Ha! That's nothing compared to this little fella, Otto.
Oh, really?
According to what the boss said, once Toby's ears got a good whiff of your drawers, you could chase that to the other side of the world.
What? To the other side of the world? You mean he can swim? Mr. Naruhodo, I think you may have missed the point by rather a wide margin. I just can't believe this little dog has such incredible skill.
I'm telling you, Otto, he's got to be more dogs doing the bit for the police in the future.
Yes, I agree.
Right, one of these days they'll be barking orders at us lot, not the other way around.
Oh dear, sorry Gina. I don't think I agree with your vision quite that much.
Well anyway, whatever you think about that, Toby here is Britain's finest police dog. I found him down the East End the other day. Someone had just chucked him out on the street.
There you go. I knew she lifted him from somewhere. Oh, Gina, you're such a kind-hearted soul, aren't you? To children and to animals.
That was great, wasn't it? I had a right laugh. I was the new one on me, that. You know, being in court, not spending no time worrying about I'm about to find.
Oh my gosh, I hate this. I hate this written Cockney crap. Ugh. You did keep an awful lot of secrets in all your previous court appearances, didn't you?
Yeah, and all those made things off me every single time and all.
Just doing my job, Gina.
But watching someone else get it in the neck is a lot of fun, actually. It was amazing when you showed that dodgy professor's dodgy experiment was a total fix.
The dodgy professor, as you put it, Gina, is Mr. Naruhodo's client. Yes, I'm starting to wish he wasn't, though.
It's the boss I feel sorry for, sent off to do the impossible.
What do you mean?
He's supposed to arrest another cow lady, and they tell him all and all. You know, the dodgy engineer. What's his name again?
Mr. Drebber, you mean? Enoch Drebber?
That's the one, yeah.
So the police are looking for this mysterious man with the black monocle. I guess they would be.
It's too much on my boss. Too much on the boss, if you ask me. He's getting him a gut ache.
Oh dear, but I do wonder if that isn't actually from all the fried food. So Scotland Yard are trying to track down Mr. Enoch Drebber. I wonder if they have any luck.
He's really funny looking, got two eyes but don't match. Stole a glimpse of a picture in him earlier. I mean, I didn't actually pinch it or nothing, but all the old devils got it.
Sorry, who?
You know, that Scowling Reaper was always glugging down glasses of that blood-red punk.
Ah, Lord Van Zyg's.
He always had it in for me, that cove. Don't know what he always scowling about, mind. Probably would have been a pretty good boss as it goes.
She'd rather be the Reaper's apprentice than a detective's trainee? The way I see it, if the choice is between a chip-guzzling detective and a chalice-guggling demigod, you're equally badly off with both.
I suppose you're right. I hadn't thought of it like that.
Then we put that one to bed.
Anyway, the point is, everyone at the yard's dead set on finding the fishy engineer. There don't be no clues to go on, so they're stuck.
There's nothing that can lead us to Drebber at all? I think I may have something for you. Here, have my card. About this, Gina. Sorry, I thought that may have been actually the faulty text, but it looks like we're onto something. Actually, Gina, it's the back of the card that's important.
Eh? How come? There's just a dirty old smudge on the back, that's all.
It turns out that this is a very high-quality French machine oil. It has a very particular scent, apparently.
You don't say! Let's have a whiff then! You sure? I don't smell nothing.
No, we didn't mean that you should smell it.
Oh, right! You mean Toby?
Adorable. His sense of smell is so good, he can track people all over the oceans, can he? Professor Harebrained informs us that this oil is unique to Mr. Drebber's workshop. I think he's picked up a scent.
So you mean if he follows the scent of this oil, Toby could lead us to that dodgy cove's workshop.
That's right. That's exactly what we were hoping.
Alright, then we'll give it a go. I'll just borrow that. What? Wait, when did you...
What's a pickpocket?
If I can lead everyone to that Dribble's workshop, I'll be the boss's boss before next week. Oh yes, Gina, I'm sure you'll be promoted.
Poor Gregson.
Right then, Otto, leave it to me.
Sorry?
We're gonna go get going after that dodgy idiot cove right this minute. Oh, but hang on, someone's supposed to be on guard duty here all the time.
I'm afraid we can't help. We need to get on with our investigation as well, Gina.
Alright. Oh well, never mind. It ain't gonna be me what gets it in the neck, you'll be the boss.
Poor Gregson again.
Hey, Lanny Bator, thank you for the raid, everybody. Welcome to Cute Dog Finds Criminal.
Here, I'll let everyone linger on this picture of a cute dog to welcome all the raiders.
His name is Toby. He's a little police dog.
Man, still no music. There was music there for a sec, but now it's gone, so this is kind of awkward. There. Well, I hope all the raiders enjoyed the dog. I have to keep going.
See you later.
The Cockney has kind of just turned into an Australian. I think I'm going to live with it. I do hope the scent of that oil leads them to that Swindler's workshop. Yes, I hope so too. Ideally before the dog swims across the channel to France.
Let's go look at that broken machine.
Over here. The stairs lead up to the experimentation stage. Let's go and see what we find out. Wow, they didn't even shut off the power. Sparks still flying everywhere.
Oh my, so this is the machine.
That was used to deceive people into thinking instantaneous kinesis had taken place. Yes, that's right. Or rather, it was the machine. It's a little worse for wear at the moment. What extraordinary lengths Professor Harebrain went in order to obtain the research grant.
No, the professor was tricked as well. Didn't you watch that case? He didn't know anything about it.
Yes, of course. It's amazing, though, isn't it? The scale of the whole affair is so very British. You're right about that. You'd never see such grand deception in Japan, that's for sure. Huh. Awkward statement to put there, but whatever.
Oh, look, is that...
Hello. Lord Van Zykes? So, I think we're more or less done here, aren't we? Shall we, Miss Susato?
Already?
He is the Reaper, remember? We'll do well to keep at our distance, I think.
But we have permission to be here, from the top. We're perfectly well allowed to investigate this machine,
as long as we don't touch anything. From the top? You mean Lord Strongheart?
Exactly.
So we can stay here and stare at this wreckage for as long as we like. She could have been at the center of the explosion here, and it wouldn't have bent her steel will. Yeah, no, he's in the sunlight. We're rewriting all the rules. Well, I guess we have to talk to you, although... Oh, that's just on the mic stand. Ugh. Least approachable man in the world winner. 10 years in a row.
Be strong, Mr. Naruhodo. Your country and your assistant stand firm behind you. Very, very far behind you.
Lord Van Zykes? What?
Well... Beautiful weather we're having, isn't it?
I hate the sun. I thought I was making it quite clear that I didn't want to be disturbed. Apparently you Nipponese are unequipped to read the signs.
Oh, dance break. I hit my desk while I was dancing. I guess that's the end of dance break. Sorry.
Oh, I read them. So, what are you doing here? Entry to this area is prohibited.
Well, the thing is,
Lord Chief Justice Strongheart granted us permission to investigate, on the condition that we didn't disturb anything. And yet you've managed to disturb me.
ah!
Never mind. State your business then. Come to think of it, there are quite a few things I'd like to ask Lord Van Dykes about. Not least of which is that awful case, even though it's nothing to do with this.
Ask away, Mr. Naruhodo. You won't know unless you try. So about your dead brother. So, Clint.
Was the name of your older brother, I understand, Lord Van Dykes? You Nipponese, I always have to be on guard whenever you're around. So, you've been investigating me, have you?
Oh, no, it's not like that.
Well, alright, it is a bit like that. My older brother was also a prosecutor. He was the pride of the Van Dykes family. But tragically, a vicious killer took him from us.
Alucard!
The professor, you mean? Yes.
Is something funny?
That's the extent of what you've discovered, is it? I shouldn't be surprised.
Sorry? There's more to it then?
Lackluster work is very much your trademark, isn't it?
Ah, you're too kind. Are you going to tar all Nipponese with the same brush next?
So tell me, what's your interest in that historic incident?
As it happens, Lord Van Dykes, there's a rather curious case that's come to our attention. Are you aware of the Madame Tespel's Museum of Waxwork by any chance?
I am, naturally. I believe that since last month I featured in one of the displays there for public scorn.
Of course the infamous Reaper of the Bailey would have to be exhibited, wouldn't he? Well, a particular waxwork has been stolen from the place and held for ransom.
A particular waxwork? Which...
Wait, do you mean... Yes, it's the professor. Mr. Shum's is investigating the case as we speak.
Then that waxwork might as well be lost. I was unaware of that.
He's turned as white as a sheet. So he's just as white as usual, then. He was starting to tan in the sun, but we switched him back. Alright, well, apparently that's all we can say about that. So moving on. Are the police trying to locate the engineer, Mr. Drebber, already?
Surely that goes without saying.
We're very keen to see him found as well. The trouble is, we don't have much to go on aside from the description of the man we heard in court earlier. Which, according to Professor Hairbrain, was of a tall, thin gentleman who has straight, white hair and wears a black monocle. So I was wondering. I mean, I realize it's probably not possible, but... we very much appreciate any more clues you can give us.
Wow, Susato-san really knows how to take the bull by the horns. Fine, why not? I have a photograph of the man here from an investigation 10 years ago. Well, it appears he has already had that black monocle at the time. What? Oh, no, nothing. I was just surprised that you shared that with us. We all need the men's testimony in court tomorrow, which means we have to do everything we possibly can to track down in the short time available. So why wouldn't I show you the photograph? What is it about Lord Van Zykes? Sometimes I just can't work him out at all. Oh, okay, I'll just take that photo then. I have like 10 copies. Oh shit, it's you. Someone get me like a photograph of Kazuma, and I just want to put it right here. Because that jawline looks very distinct. I mean, the red eyes are a problem. Yeah, I really feel like you're Kazuma. If you're not Kazuma at this point, I'd be surprised. Poke. 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 Anyway. Now, the filer requested for the trial tomorrow. Thank you. Don't confirm my suspicions. This is a blind playthrough. That is just what I'm guessing at this point. Are you alright? Who is this man, Mr. Naruhodo? Lord Van Zyk's apprentice, apparently. So I'm not the only one. Susato-san can see it too. Oh, okay, just drop all the hints, why don't ya? But Kazuma is dead? But the body's missing! If there ain't no body, he ain't dead. Anime 101. Lord Van Zykes. May we speak with your apprentice for a moment? With him? Why? Peace. Kazuma-sama! Oh, okay. I guess we're doing this now then. Kazuma? Oh, I don't believe it. Your posture, your presence. It can only be. It's you, isn't it, Kazuma-sama? I felt something strange the very first time I encountered this cloaked figure. As if I knew him somehow. Can it really be you, Kazuma? Bye. Oh, wait! Too late. He's vanished. What's going on here? Nothing. Goodbye. F. What is your interest in my apprentice exactly? You act as if you know the man or something. Well, since when has he been in your care? I don't recall you having an apprentice before I left Britain 6 months ago. Lord Strongheart introduced him to me about 3 months ago now. With instructions to mentor him as a prosecutor. But he didn't tell you why, did he? The man appears to be suffering from amnesia. He's forgotten every last detail about himself. He has amnesia? Ah, Anime 102. Tomorrow he will appear in court as my side. What? What? Sorry, didn't mean to copy you. He's to serve as my judicial assistant on Lord Strongheart's orders. He'll be in court with us?
Now then, unless I am much mistaken, I believe this conversation has run its course. Oh, yes, thank you. Peace. Yeah, amnesia, because he hit his head on that frickin' bedpost and quote-unquote died.
I definitely saw a reaction there. Susato, we have to hit that guy in the head again. When Susato-san called out like that, I really seemed to have hit a nerve. When she called out Kazuma-sama. Okay, you say the conversation's over, but you decide to stand there. I guess we are done. Let's see, how much here is clickable? Oh, Ferris wheel. This wasn't here yesterday. Really? But if I'm not mistaken, it's the cage in which the victim was standing before he was apparently beamed through the air. That's right, the birdcage. According to what Professor Harebrained said in court, it's made of wood. Or more precisely, Japanese cypress, I think. And despite having been in an explosion and falling from a great height, it's relatively unharmed. Wonderfully durable construction, wouldn't you say, Mr. Naruhodo? I'd understood that the fit had taken away yesterday to examine it. I suppose they must have brought it back here when they finished their work. But sadly not with the body inside it. No, that's right. I know we were given strict instructions not to touch anything, but still. This is too important a piece of evidence to overlook. We might need it for the trial.
You just take the whole... Where are you putting the birdcage, Naruhodo? This isn't like a freaking omnibus you can examine in court. What the hell? Yep, nope, you just shoved the whole thing up your ass. Sorry, I'm just flabbergasted. Well, definite giant hole in the bottom. Aha, what's this? Ah, look here, Mr. Susato. Oh yes, the wood's cracked and broken a little. I suppose because it fell from such a height? Yes, from the height at which the balloon was flying, down to the crystal tower below. A fall of about 30 feet, or 9 meters. Leaving the man inside tragically dead. That's it? Yep. Sorry, it's cold today, so my nose is a bit sniffly. What a terrible explosion it must have been. Even the steel girders had buckled and twisted in the blast. And what they called the birdcage was right in the middle of it all, just here. But look, Mr. Naruhodo, the metal grill on the floor. Looks as though it's designed to open. It does it? Doesn't it? If the floor had opened up at the precise moment the explosion occurred, the birdcage could have dropped through and disappeared from sight. I don't think there's any doubt that this was a very elaborate hoax, is there? You already met that masked man, hadn't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, yesterday, in fact, at Lord Van Zyke's office. I see. And if Kazuma-sama really is alive, it means that Mr. Sholmes lied to us. I know. I'm going to need to speak to him about that.
You're going to have to leave now. The fit are due to arrive shortly. If they find you here, it will cause problems.
What sort of problems?
Forensic affairs problems. Well, we could do without that. Alright, we'll be on our way. Let's go, Miss Susato. Of course. Yeah, big question of the day. Is Holmes a liar or dumb? Who knows? Well, I think we're done with all of the investigating we can here for now. If we could just determine the whereabouts of Mr. Drebber.
I'm sure Gina and little Toby won't let us down.
Now then, do you think we ought to try to speak with Mr. Sholmes about at this point? We have things to discuss, and I'm dying to meet him again after all these months. Yeah, it's quite possible he might notice something useful, you're right. We ought to find him at Madame Tespel's. He's supposed to be working there as a temporary waxwork exhibit.
Yes, Cyrus told me about this latest unusual venture.
Oh, well, we already tried that, but is it like Soseki? Have we done everything we can? Here we are again at the House of Horrors. I'm afraid I haven't gotten used to the place yet.
I'd still like to turn on my heels and go straight home via the confectionery, of course.
Yeah.
Eek!
What's the matter?
Look, Mr. Naruhodo, look at that waxwork. I'm quite sure it wasn't there before.
Here we are again.
It looks exactly like Mr. Sholmes down to the very last detail.
Aha!
What is it?
Oh, sorry. I think you'll find that it's the temporary waxwork himself. Oh, God. That's right. French accent.
Ah, the friend of my delighted employee.
That just sounds like feminine barrack. Oh, yes. Oh, ho again. It's Ryunosuke. Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
I must say I'm quite spellbound at the great detective. He's a marvel. My precious waxwork is already back where it belongs.
You don't mean...
But yes, the mystery is solved already.
Wow, Mr. Sholmes can really engage his brain when he's hungry enough.
So as you can see, he has returned to his habitual duties.
Yes. His habitual duties?
Luz, do not disturb, eh?
Poor Susato-san, she looks very perplexed. We really do need to speak with Mr. Sholmes, and I'm longing to say hello again. But where is he? Oh, poor Susato. I think you might find he's quite nearby, actually.
Oh! What do you...
Indeed, my dear fellows, it is I! The world-famous great detective and waxwork, Herlock Sholmes! Susato-san! She died.
My most humble apologies. thought I died and gone to eternal paradise for a moment. Via London. My dear madam, allow me to make amends by offering you a tasty free deduction at some point.
As long as it's not questionable street food quality. I don't understand. Why are you working as a waxwork here, Mr. Sholmes?
Merely a secret identity, you understand, though the case is largely solved now.
Largely solved? We're talking about the waxwork abduction, I presume?
Indeed we are, my good fellow. As I predicted, it was easy as proverbial pie. Proverbial pie. Though I confess, I'm yet to partake of a pie, proverbial otherwise, or any food so far today, or for that matter.
That stomach echoed around the whole museum. So how did you manage to solve it so quickly?
Ah, well, do remember I said it was largely solved. Anyway, I simply negotiate with the culprit. Are you familiar with the so-called telephone?
Oh yes, it's a most modern invention, allowing you to hold a conversation with people far away. In Japan, only the imperial capital and a handful of other cities are connected as of yet. My number is 3.
This morning, a telephone call was received here from the perpetrator of the abduction. As such, I was able to negotiate terms, and in the end, the waxwork was returned.
That's amazing.
Just between you and I, it would appear the culprit had always intended to return the stolen waxwork in any event.
Oh, but I thought whoever was responsible had demanded a ransom, no?
Yes, I think perhaps the ransom demand was necessary to avoid unwanted suspicion regarding the true motive.
A body double for a killer. Perfect. But does that not mean your negotiating was entirely unnecessary?
A fact I must ask you keep from Madame Tespel's at all costs. A hungry young Iris awaits my return to Baker Street, after all.
Poor Iris.
Now then, do I sense that you have some business with this great waxwork?
A lot, actually. I guess we'll start from the top. We're in the process of trying to track somebody down.
Oh?
Yes, a man by the name of Enoch Drebber. He's the swindler who duped Professor Hairbrain and the engineer who built the kinesis machine.
A swindler and an engineer. Quite the modern man.
He also seems to be a conjurer of sorts, too, with considerable knowledge of stage magic. We really need to locate him before the trial resumes tomorrow morning. We have so few clues to go on. That's the trouble. Do you have any good ideas?
I have no data yet. It is a capital mistake to have good ideas before one has data. If I knew something of the man's appearance, at least, I may be in a better position to help.
Oh yes, Drebber's appearance.
Fortunately for you, however, I presently have little to occupy myself and little to fill my stomach. As soon as you find any clue, no matter how small, I should gladly give you my thoughts on it.
Well, luckily I do. At first, let's make things awkward. Sholmes, did you lie to us?
My dear Mr. Naruhodo, stay that piercing stare. What is this about?
Last winter, when we were first on our way to Britain aboard the steamship, your words were very clear.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder.
You told us that it was murder. And yet you examined Kazuma-sama's body. And you examined Kazuma-sama's body.
Indeed, and wherein lies the problem?
We met him earlier today, the victim, Kazuma Asogi.
What? You're quite sure?
He was wearing some sort of mask and was apparently suffering from amnesia. But yes, I'm sure, quite sure, it was Kazuma-sama. You must have known at the time, Mr. Sholmes, that he wasn't actually dead.
Well, I can only assume I was swept up in the murderous atmosphere of the moment. But the fellow wasn't dead at all? Priceless. I don't suppose that performance would pass muster, would it, Mr. Naruhodo?
I could believe that the crewmen present at the time made a mistake. But not you, Mr. Sholmes.
I will now tell you something of the first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that.
Please, Mr. Sholmes.
Tomorrow in court, you will find yourself on the threshold of a very great mystery. For now, I'm afraid that is all I can say.
You jerk.
Anyway, here's your damn evidence. Here's your damn data. Or datum.
Mr. Sholmes, could you cast your eyes over this photographic print? It's of Mr. Enoch Trevor. The face of the engineer we seek.
Well, all Englishmen look broadly the same, of course. So looking at the photograph won't be particularly instructive.
Are you alright, Mr. Sholmes?
Ah, yes, forgive me. Very interesting, this. Very interesting indeed.
What's wrong, Mr. Sholmes? You've turned quite pale all of a sudden.
I have a suggestion, Mr. Naruhodo. Will you indulge me?
Oh, well, what is it?
As I explained to you when you arrived, the missing waxwork has been returned. And I personally reinstalled it in the exhibit from which it was taken, behind those thick curtains.
Oh yes, the Professor exhibit, isn't it?
Would you like to see it for a mere 5 shillings? That's special, one-time only price, you understand.
What?
The opportunity won't come again, I might add. Wouldn't you like to see the fruits of my labor?
Oh, well, we do have a rather pressing investigation to carry out, but perhaps we could postpone?
The price is a very reasonable 5 shillings. I think you'll find it's well worth it.
Are you being quite serious, Mr. Sholmes?
Surely you need only look at my expression to ascertain if this is seriousness or serious. God. If this is seriousness or silliness.
I can never tell with you, that's the point. Very well, it couldn't hurt. Here's your 5 shillings.
Per person. Gratefully received. So the special exhibit walls. So the special exhibit awaits behind the curtain. I invite you to peruse it at your leisure.
Well, the money's spent, so let's go and see the special exhibit. Through those heavy curtains at last. Whoops, sorry. I lost my train of thought there. Let that just slip by. 5 shillings we had to pay. It doesn't seem right somehow that Mr. Sholmes slipped the money into his own pocket, does it? No. Ah, we could ask Gina to retrieve it for us, using her special skills. Pickpocketing police officers and diddling detectives.
This is what makes Britain great. Oh, that's one for the... if not the thumbnail, for my personal file.
Not to mention demigod prosecutors taking the law into their own hands, or chip-loving inspectors. Inspector Gregson comes off rather well in that list, I think. Yeah, the overuse of diddling seems to have taken a very sharp turn. Why'd they give us this timestamp when it's like, you then move 10 feet forward? It's missing something. Oh dear, I felt a shiver run down my spine as soon as we walked in here. Miss Susato! I'd say we turn our ears and go straight home via really big confectionery. We certainly can't do that. We paid 5 shillings already. True. Actually, now I'm looking a little more closely. We've paid good money to see an exhibit that's clearly incomplete. The nerve of the great diddling detective is far more terrifying than anything else in this place. This must be what Mr. Sholmes meant when he said the case was largely solved. Be that as it may, Mr. Sholmes heavily implied that there'd be a clue about the engineer in here, didn't he? But where? Since we paid 5 shillings, let's do 5 shillings worth of investigation, shall we? Yes, we will get what we paid for. Is that fear or frustration that's making Susato-san's voice tremble? I want to see the other side of his face. This part of the exhibit is just as disturbing as the rest. It looks so real. It seems to be a young man with a white overcoat. And he has a large shovel in his hand, too. Look. Perhaps we should investigate a little more in a little more detail. Really? Yeah, look, it's Drebber. I don't know why I have to see his head from this angle, but there it is. Oh yeah, or is it a spade? Here we go again. What's this here? Well, this would appear to be a lens in the middle, so I believe it's probably a camera. A camera? But it's so small! British technology is incredible, isn't it? I mean, what about Mr. Sholmes' skin prints? I think perhaps you should treat Mr. Sholmes' inventions as exceptions to the rule. But anyway, why would the man be in a graveyard at night with a camera? I wonder. Perhaps he was dying to capture the moment. He was trying to capture a moment a dead body came back as a ghost on film. And then capture it like a Pokemon. We'll just borrow this for a little while, I think. By looking at the photographic plate inside the camera, we can see what picture was taken. What's a photographic plate? It's a piece of glass coated in a special emulsion that reacts to the light coming through the lens. If we open the cover at the back of the camera, we should find it. Let's have a look. You should see yourself, Susato-san. Your eyes are shining. You really do like machinery, don't you? Okay, well, how do we do that? Also, why can't I see it? It's like, look, I can see it right here. What a large shovel. Oh, what a large shovel. He's holding it rather ominously, doesn't he? Isn't he? What on earth was the man doing with a shovel in a graveyard in the middle of the night? Miss Susato. Yes? That's a spade, isn't it? God damn it, Naruhodo. No, it's a shovel. No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade. We've been through this, Mr. Naruhodo. It's a shovel. No. Although, we haven't considered trowels. We've allowed ourselves to be distracted, I feel. Perhaps we should concentrate on what the man was doing with the implement. So we're going to bury the hatchet? You're right, though. What was the man doing in the graveyard in the first place? That's the real question. Woo! Getting dizzy yet? That's quite a large lamp the man's carrying. Or is it a lantern? It's not like a Japanese Kochin lantern. Paper lantern, actually, is it? Lamp, lantern, Kochin? The point is, it casts very little light. To be walking alone in a graveyard at night with only this. Well, I certainly wouldn't do it. I'm not sure I could visit a graveyard at all, even in broad daylight, to be honest. We really can't look at his head. Finally. I can't see his face.
What? Okay, from this perspective, I get it. But you two are like in universe, just walking around a wax figure. Can you really not look at his face? Are you freaking kidding me? Ugh.
Dumb. I can't see his face very well, can you? Perhaps if I just moved a bit to the right.
Oh, do you think you should be manhandling the exhibits, Mr. Naruhodo?
I put it back exactly as it was, don't worry. I'll put it back exactly as it was.
Yeah, no, the wax figure itself is like 10 feet tall.
Duh! What on earth? How can... I don't believe it. A black monocle! Mr. Naruhodo, is it possible this man is... Yes. It's Enoch Drebber. The color of his hair is different, but it's unmistakably him. Indeed it is. Mr. Sholmes. This man is the subject of your present hunt, I believe. Yes, that's right. Just who is this man? Why is he here in this exhibit? Ah, the owl's not blinking. It's two lights that are flickering. Nice effect, though. And why does the convict behind him have no head? The head was missing when the model was returned by the thief who stole it. What a surprise. So then the case isn't yet solved, is it? Did I not say so myself? Largely solved were my words, I believe. But I must locate the missing head, tout de suite, as Madame would say, or I'll be in grave trouble.
Oh, AK Alien, thank you for the 200 bits.
A very hungry Irish still waits my return to Baker Street, preferably with rations. Ah! Do you know, though, something about this room is strange. Strange? What do you mean? Well, the displays in the House of Horrors are supposed to depict real events, are they not? Indeed they are, Miss Susato. Do go on. And, as terrifying as they are, the scenes in the other exhibits are believable. But this one... This surely could never really have happened, could it? I think it's time I educated you a little. About the nature of the incidents involving the professor 10 years ago. Okay, then. I believe I told you a little about the professor yesterday, did I not? He took the lives of 5 victims, every one being either a member of the aristocracy or royalty. All were attacked by an enormous hunting hound and had their throats ripped from their bodies. Ah, the Hound of the Baskervilles. Oh gosh, enormous hound? How awful. After taking the life of his fifth victim, the killer was apprehended. It was a case of unprecedented magnitude in Britain, you understand. Accordingly, the professor was tried in a closed court. No members of the public were permitted. A closed court? So you mean like the... so you mean that professor's... oh my god. So you mean that the professor's identity... As you surmise, my dear fellow, his identity was never made public. Naturally, he was found guilty and was summarily sentenced to death by hanging. And no one got to see the hanging either. Honestly, more people were mad about not seeing the hanging than not seeing the trial. He was buried in a grave at the Lowgate Cemetery, which adjoins the rear of the prison where he had been held. However, that was not the end of the affair. Oh! The very night that he had been buried, the convicted man came back to life. Came back to life? He clawed his way out of the ground and emerged into the moonlit graveyard. The exhibit here depicts that very scene as described by the sole witness of those chilling events. There was a witness? But of course, my dear fellow. It was none other than the young man in the white overcoat. Enoch Trevor. You saw it happen? So this waxwork model of Enoch Trevor. 10 years ago, the convicted professor, having been gibbeted and buried, emerged from his grave in the dead of night. The sole witness to that unimaginable scene was this young man. From appearances, I would say he was about 20 years old. It's so horrifying. Scared out of his wits, the young driver ran to a nearby police station to report the incident. And the sheer terror of what he'd seen has said to have turned his hair white overnight. Yes, as shown in the photograph we have of him, his hair is completely white. For the following few days, the story of what he'd seen was on every front page in the capital. The public was frantic for every last detail about the killer who'd come back to life. As you'd seen, an exhibit was even created here at Madame Tespel's. I can quite understand why the man's hair turned white, certainly. What I don't understand is what Mr. Trevor was doing in the first place, in a lonely graveyard in the middle of the night. Yes, what was he up to? The professor's acts of terror threw London's upper classes into complete panic 10 years ago. It was a great scandal, one might say, at the very highest levels of society. And since the killer's identity was never made public, rumors abounded. After all, no killer had ever before systematically employed a dog as a weapon of murder. Yes, I can quite imagine the impact the case must have had. In time, of course, the rumors abated. So did talk of the shocking witness account of the convict who came back to life. It was forgotten, dismissed as a dubious ghost story, and as a preposterous parlor tale. But why did people stop believing it? Why, simply because there was no resurrection to speak of, as was established in fact. What do you mean by no resurrection? The police investigated the grave at Lowgate Cemetery and published their findings. The convict's body was found to be buried exactly where it had been following the execution. No! But that would mean Mr. Trevor must have lied to the police and the newspapers. That would appear to be the only logical explanation, yes. The young man subsequently vanished from society and nothing has been heard from him since. It's rather striking, then, that he should resurface now, don't you think? Of course the convicted murderer couldn't really have come back to life. That's not possible. Are you sure? But Trevor's hair is unusually white, as if that really did happen overnight as a result of shock. Or he dyed it. It's hard to believe the incident was an out-and-out lie. I guess we're done here. Okay, so we're not done investigating here. Yeah, we haven't looked at this body yet.
This must be the killer, the fiend known as the Professor.
Yes, I think so, according to what Madame Tespel said. He killed 5 victims, all noble or royal blood. The Waxwork is so lifelike, isn't it? Like all the models in this place. I know, it looks like it could start moving at any moment. Doesn't it? If only it had a head, that is. Perhaps I should examine it in a little more detail. Dun dun dun! Oh, I can't rotate. So this is the condemned man. Yes, the so-called professor. Then perhaps his head was chopped off by a guillotine. But unable to find the piece, he emerged from his grave as a headless ghost. Do we have to entertain such terrifying ideas, Miss Susato? Anyway, I'm sure the model has had a head once. There's a metal fitting for it, see? Then perhaps Mr. Sholmes accidentally forgot to reattach it? That's an extremely absent-minded detective you're describing, isn't it? Or perhaps the thief absently forgot to include the head when he or she returned it to the museum? And that would be an extremely absent-minded thief. Could there have been some reason why only the head wasn't returned? Well, whatever the reason. It means we don't know what the face of the infamous professor looked like, do we? Oh. There's something caught just inside the convict's jacket here. It looks like a piece of broken glass. It's quite a big piece, too. It's very thick, isn't it? About 5 times thicker than normal window glazing, I'd say. Where did such a thick piece of glass come from, I wonder? I suppose it must have been made thick to increase its strength? But why? Well, perhaps because the glass had to span a particularly wide area, such as a big building, for example.
Like part of the Crystal Tower. Woo! Finally starting to get the case dovetail.
Oh, well, we've seen a large glass building recently, haven't we? Some glass was broken, too. You don't mean... Exactly, the Crystal Tower at the Great Exhibition. But why would glass from the Crystal Tower be lodged inside this Waxwork's jacket? It makes you think, doesn't it? We live in a society. Earlier in court, we established that the kinesis experiment was a trick. And now we discover this fragment of glass here in this waxwork. Is it just a coincidence? Oh, fade to black.
What you the bleeding no order? What you gotta do if you done?
Gina, what are you doing here?
I asked Iris and she said this where you'd be, so...
Gina, not so loud in the museum. Madame Tespel will have you take a position as a waxwork if you're not careful. I think there might be a more pressing concern.
I still had some flash powder left from 6 months ago, so...
Alright, Gina, we understand, but please, put down the gun.
Sorry, I got scared.
You should try being You should try being the one on the other side of the barrel. End of the barrel. Side of the barrel would still have little harm. So what brings you here, Gina?
What brings me here? What do you think? We found it. We found that Dodger Cove's workshop.
What? You found Drebber's workshop? Aw, puppy. Pet. Gotta fix that cowlick. Look at that tail. Look at that tail.
Yep, Toby's nose took me straight there. The boss and the others are even over there now in a drag, so come on. Here's the address. I got the boss to write it out.
Oh, thank you, Gina. We'll make our way there at once.
Alright then, see you there.
Peace.
You go. Don't mind me. I just stay here, being still.
What?
I know my place. In the exhibit over there.
Oh dear, someone is feeling sorry for himself.
Let's go, Mr. Sholmes, you're coming. Your words hearten me, I must say, but if I were to shirk my duties here, Adam would have me pay monetary recompense and Iris's dinner plate would be empty once more.
Forget that, I'll pay for everything.
Then there's not a moment to lose, my dear fellow. I shall hail a carriage at once.
A brilliant gesture. Thank you for the 3-month resub. Ooh, thank you for the sub 3 months in advance. Welcome, welcome. Here's a headless body for you. No offer to share the cost with Mr. Sholmes, then. I shall gladly pay half, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you, Mr. Susato. But don't we share a stipend? Probably not anymore. Here we are. It's a big workshop indeed.
There's just a trophy laying here. That looks like...
Oh, it's another super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
Indeed, it should appear so. It would appear so, though only a prototype, naturally.
Ah, so you got here then? Gina, well done for finding this place. Now don't say anything else. And in such little time, you really worked miracles.
It's the Toby's ears, the miracle worker. I dare not voice act for the dog.
Wow, that's a face.
I thought you lot would show up before long.
Hello, Inspector. That's one knitted brow. Looks like he's eating a lemon, not a bag of fish and chips. So, Inspector, is there any sign of the engineer?
Sadly not. We couldn't find a soul. We didn't find a soul in here.
Oh, what a shame. Well, thank you for letting us know about this place and giving us a chance to investigate.
According to what Gina tells me, we only found it thanks to a clue that you lot turned up. I wouldn't want to say go to Paris with a debt of gratitude unpaid now, would I?
Okay, is Gina out of earshot? You just dropped the Paris line. Thanks.
Anyway, if you're open to snoop around in here, I get cracking. Lord Van Zyx and the Fit are on their way here as we speak.
Them again.
I imagine you got the picture by now. They don't take too kindly to lawyer types.
Right. So then, my dear fellow, let's turn this place upside down while we have the chance.
And you, Sholmes.
Pardon?
They take even less kindly to great detectives than they do lawyers.
Ah ha 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 ha! Very droll, Gregson, very droll. But you may consider me nothing more than an inconspicuous waxwork model. Right then, let's see what we can find in here. Now let's start with this. Oh, this appears to be most interesting. Yes, most interesting indeed, wouldn't you say? It's an impressive looking back massager, that's for sure. No doubt that you hit your shoulders a few times with that. Your aches and pains would soon go away. It's a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science. So young scientists could wish for no higher honor. Ah. Would you like a massage? Yes? Oh, no, I'm fine, thank you. I had no idea it was such a grand thing. I think it's becoming increasingly clear that there's much more to this Mr. Enoch Trevor than conjuring tricks. I couldn't agree more, my dear madam. And how about you, Mr. Naruhodo? Wouldn't you like to take it with you? For your tired shoulders, of course. He's not going to let that go, is he? It's curious enough, isn't it? You'd expect such an important trophy to be proudly on display somewhere, not haphazardly cast aside. English gentlemen can be quite a mystery at times. Aha. Alright, I see arrows down here. This is... It's a European style quiver of arrows with steel bolts inside. Oh, do you suppose?
Crossbow bolts, these? And just the right size for that bow you lot turned up at the exhibition grounds.
In other words...
Yep, that's more evidence to support your theory. It all goes to show that Driver was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes of the whole scam.
This door doesn't want to open.
Yeah, looks like it's got a pretty hefty lock on it.
There's a specialist locksmith on his way over from the yard, so hands out till he gets here.
With permission, Inspector. I could have that lock open in less than a minute.
Well, you don't have permission, and no one's giving it to you.
Gregson looked as though he really enjoyed that. Giggity. Well, there's no sign of anybody on the other side. No, Driver must have fled at the first sign of danger. I didn't even want to click there, but alright. I'm sorry, Mr. Narhoda, that machine is covered by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. There would be serious repercussions if you were to examine it, from the Crown and the government. Tell that to them. Well, those two don't seem to be holding back. It's quite hollow inside. No working parts or devices of the deception to be seen, my dear fellow.
No loose change dropped on the floor, nothing. Not a bone for Toby here, my dear fella.
British people are very much ruled by their own ideals, aren't they? I think that's just these two, Miss Susato. Thud. Oh, is something wrong, Miss Susato? Well, I thought I heard a noise on the far side of that door. Well, Gina, did you hear it too?
Yeah, I heard it and all. What'd you reckon, Toby?
Adorable.
Right, mind the grease! Whoever's in there, open up! This is Scotland Yard!
Well, announce your presence. He left. Oh my, there is someone in there!
Oh, this rotten, bleeding lock!
My dear Gregson, as I said only minutes ago. If only it were countenance, that I could unlock that door in less than a minute. Grr.
Fine, I'll take the rap for it. Just get us through that blasted door!
There! You may enter at will. You've confused minutes with seconds, I think. Time is of the essence, I feel. What are we waiting for?
Nothing for it, I suppose. This is an emergency.
There's a strong possibility that beyond that door is the engineer you all seek. Be prepared for action, my dear fellow. Yes. Oh shit! I see shoes on the pane and a bomb on the floor. We're all probably dead. Goodbye, world. But I say to myself, what's happened in here? Why is everything upside down? Rats ain't no here after all. But there must be. It was only moments ago that we heard those noises. You know, it's the sound of Drebber running away. But there's only one door into this room. And no windows that could afford an escape route. Those skylights are too high. What's that up there? Are they footprints on the ceiling?
Blow me! What do we have here then? Looks like someone's trying to burn something in a hurry.
Oh, that looks like a set of blueprints. To what?
To that Professor Harebrain's burning machine, is it? Blimey, if we have these, there'd be no need to muck about trying to investigate all that scrap metal.
There is something else of great interest here, too. This rope was lying on the floor at the foot of that pillar. A rope? What's significant about that? Never mind. You see, but you do not observe. You see, but you do not observe. Oh my god. I really hope this doesn't drag on for another 40 minutes. You see, but you do not observe, Mr. Naruto. Ugh. We must investigate the entire room thoroughly, and before Fit arrive too. Okay, well let's start with the bomb. Mr. Sholmes, have you found something? Ah, Mr. Haro. Yes, in point of fact, something rather fascinating. What do you make of this? Let's see. I've never seen anything like it before. It looks like a bundle of thick cigars wrapped up in a large type. Ah! Miss Susato, what's the matter? That's a... Surely that's a time bomb, isn't it?
What? What did you say?
A time bomb? Sorry, but what is a time bomb exactly?
Here?
You truly are one of the kind, Mr. Naruto. I won't take that as a compliment. You don't know nothing, do you, Otto? You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invite you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruto. But this particular specimen is no time bomb, though I confess it has a very similar appearance. It's an alarm clock. Oh, well, thank goodness. But then what is it? I see. So that's it. Goodness, Mr. Sholmes. Have you seen to the heart of the matter? There are times when I consider my lot most unfair. For I'm fated never to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself. But I have learnt to accept that hardships that come with me being... Oh, God. But I have learnt to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Miss Susato. Here we go. Feel a great deduction coming. Once again, I draw two conclusions from the scene here before us. The first is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Drebber himself. Oh, but how could you? And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor here is without complete... is that the small device on the floor there is without question completely genuine. Please, Mr. Sholmes, you must explain everything. Time's running out.
It would be a pleasure. After all, it is a great detective's civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade. Oh, there's that furrowed brow again. Well, Inspector Gregson seems delighted with the idea anyway. Ah ha 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 ha!
Oh, you've deflected the inspector's glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Sholmes. Well done.
You're too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly just stand there, Miss Susato.
Oh, yes, I'd be delighted.
So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular! Ace Detective!
Reviled Pembroke, thank you for the 13-month resub. A baker's dozen? Indeed. Welcome to the other side of your year. Hope it goes better than the last.
It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table, and the chairs. The bed, the table, and chairs. The lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in the room had, until recently, been happily positioned on the ceiling. Before falling straight down onto the floor.
Every item in the room was on the ceiling? Are you suggesting that?
Indeed, the key here is gravity. My old nemesis. It would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the Earth. For the gravity in this room was reversed and then suddenly restored to normality.
My goodness.
The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. I quite understand your skepticism, Miss Susato. I, too, was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. An anti-gravity device, almost identical to the one that featured in a dream of mine, only the other day, in fact.
But then why does it have a clock on it?
A most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. Though it's clearly a requirement for an engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. And the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that restoration occurred. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. So you see, we need to look no further to explain why the state in which we now find this room. The direction of which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Drebber, before being restored to normality with an automatic fashion by sometime later by the timer device. I have witnessed precisely this scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed. Ace Detective? Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain this action is above our heads.
Yes, how is it possible there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling?
A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Of course, Drebber's aim was singular, to escape. However, there is but one way into this room, excepting the skylight, that is. By inverting the gravity in here, Dreb was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way.
But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Sholmes. If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. Dribble have fallen up to the ceiling rather violently?
Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was cornered and wouldn't know where to run, so escape to the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
Oh, the rope!
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Which explains how Drubber was able to escape this room before our arrival. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun. Thus concludes Airlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. Boo. By the way, that safe, the only thing right side up in here. She's completely spellbound.
Mr. Sholmes, there's just one thing that troubles me.
I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life.
The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean?
I would say that with man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century...
You see, okay, I saw this in chat, and people were saying it was like mid-1800s, but it seems like it's sitting pretty close to the 1900s. Yeah, and so you have the Crystal Palace, Crystal Tower thing, but if it's really 1850s, then this wouldn't be real. Anyway, yeah, so I feel like this is like late Victorian era. Also, Vamp Planet, thank you for your 16-month resub. It should be somewhere between 1968 and 1912. 1868 and 1912.
It's no more possible than instantaneous kinesis.
But your whole deduction hinges on it.
Ah, but my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. However improbable it may seem. It's a marvelous lie, would you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom. I had Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My original was clumsy.
Yes, I have a feeling I've read it in something that Miss Susato let me once.
Objection!
Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Sholmes. The spell's broken at last. The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it?
Indeed it was. The lonely coils near the wall.
But if Mr. Drubber used it to escape in the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall?
Fuck! The mystery is inevitably unraveled in the end, thus I think you'll find. Do ropes? And as evidence and such, you need only look at the mystery we face in this room, now skillfully unraveled.
That argument is as circular as the coils of rope. I think perhaps you might need to give Mr. Sholmes the usual little helping hand. I'm sure with someone with the minor corrections, the great detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth.
Yeah, you're right.
we must do it quickly before Enoch Drebber gets too far away.
If you're ready, then let's resume. Airlock Sholmes, logic and reasoning spectacular. Now with help.
I do like this effect here. It's nice. Still, the best great deduction was seeing Soseki, like, dance his way into Shanspeare's room, but this is coming pretty close. There we go. I think gravity could have been reversed in this very room. I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such an explanation. But the man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so... Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once. Ooh, that's unusually merciless of you, Miss Susato. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said so, didn't he? While refusing to part with his dreams of anti-gravity devices. Yes, I suppose so. Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. Well, well, I wasn't expecting to find a pretty bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure. Oh, look at that. I know, that slender little vase looks like it's about to topple at any moment, but the flowers are thriving. Someone makes you think of the fragility of life, don't you say? Won't you say? To be honest, Mr. Naruhodo, something else about it made a rather deeper impression on me. Is it just that? Nothing else? Ah, look, Mr. Susato. And everything seems to be upside down in here. This safe is conspicuously the right way up. Have you noticed? Yes, that's true. But look more closely at the safe's feet. Ah, that's a lot of very large bolts fixing it to the floor. Think before you speak. Wait, did I miss a line? Ah, think before you speak. That's what you wanted to say, isn't it? I really put my foot in my mouth there. I certainly didn't say that.
Take that!
The upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business.
Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you've surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head.
Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps.
Oh, trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps?
No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Sholmes, trust me.
As you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all furniture in this room is upside down. This unassuming, slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe, there is nothing affixing it to the floor.
And it's the exception that breaks the rule.
In short, much as it pains me, the gravity in this room was never inverted at all! My deepest sympathies for your loss.
Oh, poor Mr. Sholmes.
But the show must go on, so let's continue with our deductions.
Oh, I like that I'm in the shot now.
That's fun. Now that we know this contrivance is not, in fact, anti-personnel, it is a bomb, an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? Quite, and naturally, there is an explanation. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he? I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong. Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all his furniture over. So whoever it was must have had a reason. I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though. Well, let's look around and see if the answer presents itself. Really? Okay, then. Look, there's something written on the other side of this armchair. Oh yes, safe 432582. Safe? As in safe and secure? As in secure lockable box, I think. Admittedly more likely. Well, there is a large safe bolted to the floor on the other side of the room, so yes. So you mean this number would let us open it? I wonder why it's written here, though.
Take that!
Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. Precisely! I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that you had a very similar experience once, did you not? Yes, last year. When I bought a lottery ticket, I noted the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book just in case. That's it for people are forgetful souls at heart, and always make a written note of important information. Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think. And what, pray, happened next, Mr. Naruhodo? When the day of the draw came around, I'd forgotten which book I'd written the number in and had to turn my room upside down to find it. That's it for people are forgetful souls at heart and always forget where they have noted things down. Not if you always note things in the same place. I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine I slipped the ticket into, so I had to turn it... Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo. I think I proved my point now. Which is that very similar scenario is very clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself requiring access to this safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code. He remembered that he'd written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgotten which one. Leading to the state which we now find in the room. Yes, Mr. Driver overturned all the furniture in here in a desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe. Ace Detective! Solved. Quote unquote. Now, let's consider the next... Oh, we already got this part. Well, if a change in the direction of gravity can't explain it, how did those footprints get there? Yes, I feel as though that particular mystery has just become even harder to solve. I can't think of any other way to explain it at all. Oh, life was so much simpler in those halcyon days when gravity could be reversed. It was minutes ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place. Well, I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Sholmes and observe the area in more detail. Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what gets us into these situations in the first place. Doot-doot-doodle-doot. Is it the shoe or the balloon? I guess we can do both and see what happens. This is a gas balloon, isn't it? It's tiny, but it does seem to be a real balloon.
Yes, I think you're right. I think it's helium that's keeping it up. A green gas balloon. Why does that seem to ring a bell with me? If you can see there are footprints on this balloon too, look. Oh yes, surely that's a clue, isn't it? Though what it tells us, I'm not sure. It's hard to believe, but there's a shoe up there, look! Oh yes, and there are more footprints on this little balloon too. Perhaps the shoe was thrown up there and became lodged, do you think? If so, then judging from the number of footprints, it must have been thrown up several times. Why would anyone be throwing shoes at the ceiling, though? Oh dear, that's beyond me, I'm afraid. Well, it's one of the two. Let's try that. Hey! The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. And on closer inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the skylight at all, but the balloon. But for what purpose? To knock it down, probably. Green balloon. A green balloon! That seems somewhat familiar data. Ah! It was a piece of the green balloon's envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene. And inside the green balloon that Mr. Gotts claims to have saw above the stage when Master Gotts claims to have... And inside the green balloon that Master Gotts claims he saw above the stage when the incident occurred was the second birdcage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception. You mean to say... If we assume the balloon in here is a model of the one used on the day, there's a strong possibility it may be concealed inside it. Something our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. But the balloon's out of reach. Hence why he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe. Ah! Most probably, Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by assailing it with the shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights. Oh dear, we desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there were some way we could see inside.
You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than a rope?
Mr. Shuns managed to bring the deduction back to the rope. Alright, I have to admit, that was clever. So we just throw the rope up to the balloon and pull it down on us on the ground? Which is much easier said than done, I feel. And could take us a very long time as well. True, perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we?
The crossbow! Take
that!
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow? That was found at the scene, in fact. In all likelihood, belongs to Mr. Drebber.
If the man had only brought it away with him that day, he'd have avoided losing a shoe in such critical time as this. So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is it that Enoch Drebber has hidden inside this balloon? What? Oh, it's the head! What the... a waxwork? Indeed it is! A waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock.
So we can't see the face inside, that means. Just a moment, this is the head of a waxwork model? Does that mean... Oh, goodness!
I see you've joined the dots, Mr. Susato. Excellent!
Ah, of course, a headless waxwork model. The case of the abducted Madame Tespel's model that you largely solved. It was only the head of the killer that was still missing.
Indeed it was. I believe Madame Tespel's will now have to settle her sizable account with me. This, as you have now surmised, is the head of the infamous professor.
Yes. But why is it here?
This conclusively confirms my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Tespel's and returning it, sans they, earlier today was none other than Enoch Drebber.
This is incredible. Professor Harebrain's case and the Waxwork abduction they're inextricably linked by Enoch Drebber's workshop. I'm keeping this head.
Well, it appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure.
The architect? You mean Mr. Drebber?
As it seems quite impossible they escaped via one of the skylights. Obviously, the man must still be here in the room.
What?
And his location should be abundantly clear. If you simply reflect on the journey we've made together during this abduction.
Enoch Drebber is right here, somewhere in this room?
So, Mr. Naruhodo, will you do the honors?
Yes, of course. Mr. Drebber's hiding place must be the... I'm not even gonna...
Take that!
Boom, baby!
Yeah, not the wardrobe. That's too conventional. Before we gained access to this back room, we heard noises from in here.
Which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at that point in time.
He was in fact searching for the combination to this safe.
And pressed for time, made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process. From which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber is at this very moment inside the safe. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle.
And while we were doing all this, he ran out of air, suffocated, and died. The end.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide and seek, don't you?
By opening the safe, you mean?
What else?
Let's see. The combination was 1 4 3 2 5 8 2. I knew that! Alright, yeah, then here he goes.
Hello. I'm Enoch Drebber.
Nice mechanical hand.
You found me.
He's an automaton! Kill him! Oh, shit, he's got great dance moves.
Hello. Right then, sir. Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume?
Correct. Oh, what's a good voice for this? Hold on.
Correct.
You better start talking. You tricked Professor Harebrain with that bogus machine you built. And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork from Madame Tespel's as well.
Whilst I would be delighted to answer your many questions. Personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first.
Deactivate? Your parcel?
I refer, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position.
Ah!
I see. Stunned silence. You're all gearing up to die with me then?
No! Boom! Mr. Sholmes, with only 7 seconds to spare! Now it's too close for comfort. I've got one foot in the grave already.
Are you trying to help us get a killer or help us get killed?
Mr. Sholmes' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they?
Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say.
Anti-gravity devices don't exist! Whew, I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, I still have to talk to you? Can we wrap this up, please? What on earth happened in here? You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Everything in here is precisely what it seems. I do like this character design, by the way. Just a little bit. Especially the part where he gives you the creepy smile.
You know, we'll be giving it we'll be giving it a thorough going over. Don't be worried, Rubber.
What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt. Whistling?
Oh, that would have been me.
Oh!
For some reason, I woke in a fine fiddle today.
No words, just tightly squeezed chips. Clearly I must have a screw loose, though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down. Also found a rope over by the wall. Yes, I had hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly the rope was too short. So I then set about searching for the combination code to open the safe.
And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably, though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters.
And after that, you hid yourself inside the safe? Having first set this parcel ticking? Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police. I think when they went to 7 seconds to spare, that was after Sholmes deactivated the bomb. So it's not going to go off. They stopped interrogating him, deactivated the bomb, then came back.
Got a death wish, have you? Hiding right beside a ticking time bomb?
Please, why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe. It's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it.
So, in fact, the safe was the only safe place.
Precisely. Once you climbed inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again. I invite you to look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within. Ah, so it is. I had always intended to blow this place to smithers in any... smithereens. Apparently not a word back then. I had always intended to blow this place to smithers in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans.
Do you mean to say you were planning to blow us all up?
No, that was unforeseen. What do you mean? Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet. Ah. I calculated the time required for retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discourse in here threw a spanner in the works.
Is something wrong, Gregson?
Do I have something on my face? Besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth? I think we have a fairly good idea what's going on here now. But what about the 2 incidents you've evidently been involved in recently? Professor Harebrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition, and the Waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to. That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the Professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as protection. After all...
That's enough! What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here.
Well...
Dr. Scythe again. So the fit are here.
And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer to access to him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. You lot, leave at once.
My dear madam, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Scythe?
Hello, Sholmes.
So Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Scythe?
If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you're quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell, you...
Get out!
But of course, we'll show ourselves to the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Naruto!
Yes?
It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today.
But Mr. Sholmes...
Let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands.
I said get out! Now, all of you! Your presence here is not required either, Gregson. You're so fucking fired.
Understood. I'll say one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place, and the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. There was this time bomb set here that this lot disarmed.
Inspector.
Fuck!
Something giving you a chuckle, has it, Drebber?
So sorry. Didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Wait, what? So this has been in 7? Oh, okay. Yes, you did disarm that one. Hey, what are you? That one? Yeah, you mean? Ka-ha-ha. 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 Ka-ha-ha.
Are you hear something, little Greg?
Oh, geez. Killed 2 more guys. It was an hour later that we heard the news of the enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage of the Great Exhibition. Professor Harebrain's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever. Fuck you, 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 fuck you. Finally!
That took a whole extra hour.
Yes, please. Oh, well. Thank you guys for joining me. That was an exhausting endeavor, but we finally made it back to what's probably going to be the trial. It only took a 3-hour detour. Alright, let's see if there's anyone to raid. Good news, bad news. There are plenty of people to raid. Bad news is, if you were hoping for a respite from Elden Ring, you're not getting it. Because all the other members of the team that are still streaming are playing Elden Ring. So let's see here. I think I'll send you guys along to Grant, because he's the one who hasn't been streaming much, so I'll give him some love. I just have to remember how his channel's spelled, because last time I did it, I sent a raid off to nowhere. Master Wugs. That should be it. Why did you do that? Vamp, as I fix this typing error. Come on. There we go. Why do you... No! I've already told you what channel to raid. Stop inserting another channel. Stop it. Yeah, no, don't do that. Just do it. Jeez. Yeah, no, I know it's Master WGS. Every time I typed in the raid command, it insert channel instead of the channel name. Whatever, it's done. Have fun. See you guys tomorrow for more Barf the Blue, and good night.